This is a massive report. According to NBA Insider with ESPN Brian Windhorst, he reports that Julius Randle is extremely tradable right now, potentially suggesting that right now is the perfect time for the Knicks to trade Randle. We're going to break down these latest reports and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now and make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. NBA Insider Brian Windhorst reports that Julius Randle's trade value is very high right now. When I first heard this report, I gotta say, I was shocked because over the last few weeks, all we've been hearing, all the reports have been suggesting that Randle's trade value isn't very high right now. And that was understandable. He was coming off of injury. We didn't see him play in the postseason. And honestly, with Randle, the way his value is going to skyrocket is when he does well in the postseason and does so for many, many series. If he can continue to do that, his trade value in the offseason is going to be higher than it's ever been before. However, according to Brian Windhorst of ESPN, he's actually suggesting that right now could be the perfect opportunity for the Knicks to trade Randle because currently he is extremely tradable. Let's break down these latest reports from Brian Windhorst on Randle and his current trade value. According to Windy, he is eligible, he being Randle, for a 4-year, $181 million contract extension. However, the Knicks have to be careful with their salary commitments because of Anunoby. Even though Brunson is a huge discount, that is a big salary on there, and they're going to have to extend Mikal Bridges as well. Because of Randle's $29 million salary, he's extraordinarily tradable, and the Knicks do still have a couple of first-round picks that they can move. He continues by stating here, his value, if he is 100%, is more than that. There is no reason why, if he is playing at the top of his game, why he shouldn't seriously consider opting out of that contract. Shout out to Brian Windhorst for giving us the following updates about Julius Randle and his current trade value. I gotta say, I've reported on and listened to a number of Brian Windhorst articles and reports over the years about the Knicks. And this report has to be one of the main ones I disagree with the most. I understand what Windhorst is saying here. If you go back and you look at his exact comments, what he's basically saying is Randle's $29 million contract is extraordinarily tradable. And the Knicks can pair that with a couple of first-round picks to trade him for another player or a couple of important players. And that's absolutely true. However, if the Knicks did that type of move, it would be a failure of a trade. Julius Randle means too much to this team. His impact is near Brunson's level. And I can say this quite honestly. When Julius Randle is on that floor for the Knicks, we're a better team. We're a more dominant team. We can take it on anybody when we have Randle in that lineup because going down low, bully ball Randle is near unstoppable. And when you have shooters around him, when you have an all-star point guard like Jalen Brunson around him, it maximizes Randle's abilities and it makes him near unstoppable. There is no reason for the Knicks to trade Randle right now without seeing how it looks like with this full roster healthy and intact. I think we owe it to this Knicks team to see Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Mitchell Robinson all out there, all available, all healthy, and see what they can do against many teams in the NBA. Because in my opinion, the current roster that we have right now with Julius Randle in it, no trades being made, no other moves being made. We are a championship contender right now, and we can go toe-to-toe with any team in the league. But going back to Randle, even though I can understand that his contract is tradable, and yes, if the Knicks really wanted to, they could go out there and they could trade him. That trade would not make sense because there is nobody currently available that would make sense to trade Julius Randle for. All Windhorst is saying here is that if the Knicks wanted to trade Randle right now, they could because of his contract, and he could probably fetch the Knicks some important pieces. But important pieces does not adequate to the right trade or the perfect trade. There is no perfect trade right now that exists if you include Julius Randle in it, because Randle is too important and means the most to our team right now. He means more to our team healthy than any other team in the league right now. Take a look back at the Indiana Pacers series. If we had Julius Randle inside the paint during that series, we are dominating that series. We're probably winning that series 4-1. That series only goes 5 games if Julius Randle's available and he's healthy. His impact with the amount of shooters we have on this roster right now is second to none because of the way he passes, playmakes, and does his bully ball inside the paint. Nobody on this Knicks roster can do what Julius Randle does. And that's why he is the most valuable to this current Knicks roster. Even though the Knicks could trade him, even though he has a tradable contract, even though the Knicks could potentially settle on a trade for Randle. Why would they want to do that? Why settle on a trade? It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't help this team right now. What could help this team right now, what will help this team right now, is doing what Leon Rose and this Knicks front office want to do. Run the current roster that they spent all offseason long building slowly, methodically, importantly, so that way next season we have the perfect roster to go all the way to the NBA Finals. Do you think this Knicks front office would ruin that, would jeopardize that in any way by looking to trade Randle now or at any point during next season? Because in my opinion, I can answer that for you. It would be a colossal no. There is nobody available to trade Randle for right now. I don't believe there's anybody that's going to be available to trade Randle for at the trade deadline, which means Randle's trade, if you want to see that happen, is going to happen next offseason. No sooner than that, because the Knicks have to build up Julius Randle's trade value. Even though he's tradable right now, extremely tradable, extraordinarily tradable, according to Brian Windhorst, for the Knicks, it's here. If the Knicks are going to trade Randle, his value needs to be here. And the Knicks need to build that. How do you do that? By having him show out during the regular season and go absolutely bonkers during the postseason. And with the roster we have right now, we have the recipe to unlock all of those abilities within Julius Randle. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see headed into next season. And there's another main reason that we're going to see that from Randle. Contract year. We remember Julius Randle and how he looked before he got the current contract he's on with the Knicks. He was a monster. Going into this season, needing another contract, he is going to be an absolute beast. Monster to a level that we haven't seen before. And I am with it. I am here for that ride, and I cannot wait to see Julius Randle show out and destroy everybody in the league at his position. Because right now, I would say quite honestly, Randle is top 2 in the league in terms of power forwards. And if you don't believe me, don't worry. Randle's going to prove it to all of you come next season. But what about you guys? What do you think about these recent reports from Brian Windhorst indicating that right now may be the perfect time for the Knicks to trade Randle because currently he is extraordinarily tradable? Let me know in the comments section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.